Well, good morning to you all on Friday the 20th of November. The Sydney Morning Herald of Thursday carried a very interesting opinion piece by Annabelle Crabb. Annabelle Crabb is developing a reputation in Canberra as a journalist who speaks her mind and won't suck up to the Rudd government. She began her piece by making reference to the fact that anytime anyone in the Parliament dares to challenge the validity of the climate change argument, remember it used to be called global warming until they found out the globe wasn't warming, but anyone who denies the validity of the climate change argument is called a denialist. And she highlighted instances when that tag was pinned to any number of opposition speakers who were prepared to challenge the government on climate change. But then, referring to the great believer Kevin Rudd, she quoted his oft-repeated mantra, "They're in complete denial of the impact on the environment," she wrote, sniffed the great believer, a single holy shaft of sunlight glinting off his lustrous silver helmet. She went on, "Yep, the Prime Minister seems pretty riled up about this denialist caper. If there's one thing the Prime Minister really can't stomach," she wrote, "it's a person who continues to deny something, despite convincing, logical, historical or scientific evidence to the contrary," unquote. And then she says, Annabelle Crabb, "Imagine how cross the Prime Minister would be, just imagine, if he ever took his eyes off the climate change sceptics for long enough to notice the biggest denialist in the House of Representatives. Oh, this guy would just make the Prime Minister see red. Imagine. There is in the Australian Parliament," she wrote, "a denialist so deluded, a misanthrope so misguided, a scoffer so soft-headed, that he yesterday described the past month's frolics aboard the Oceanic Viking as non-extraordinary. Quote, a denialist so shameless that he can stare barefacedly back at electors and his parliamentary opponents and deny again and again and again that a bunch of Sri Lankans currently being processed in record fast time in Indonesia are not in receipt of any special deal. This denialist," writes Annabelle Crabb, "also insists in the face of all reasonable theories of human behaviour that being nicer to asylum seekers doesn't in any way encourage more of them to come. Just imagine if Kevin Rudd," she wrote, "ever got his hands on this denialist. Now that would be a match-up." Well, Mr Rudd is navigating deep waters. Soon he'll learn that neither the people nor the journalists who report to the people are being fooled. For the moment, some of the journalists are just laughing at him. I'm Alan Jones.